Hello. This is a bit of an unusual video for me to be making, but today I'm gonna show you guys my Halloween bucket collection. As you can see on the shelf right there, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Halloween buckets. Not only will I be showing you guys my Halloween buckets, but I will also give off some backstories and my experiences with each of these buckets. In addition to explaining my backstory and experiences with each one of these buckets, I will also explain what each one of these buckets are based on and their design. Before I get started, there's a few things I would like to note. The first thing to note is that even though these Halloween buckets are supposed to be used for trick-or-treating, I am actually not going trick-or-treating this year, and it's because it's actually snowing outside on Halloween Day in my area, which is odd because it usually doesn't snow on Halloween Day in my area, but this year it did. Also, so I'm a bit too old to go trick-or-treating at this point. The second thing to note is where I got these buckets from. Well, I got most of these buckets from McDonald's and Kernels because both McDonald's and Kernels puts out Halloween buckets in October, and I have collected a few of them over the years. Even though I do not go trick-or-treating much anymore, I have these buckets for collecting purposes and filling up the shelf. And speaking of the shelf, there's only 8 of them instead of 9 of them because part of the shelf space is broken. You can actually see the broken part right here. There's supposed to be another piece right there of the shelf, but me and my family never bothered to repair it. But it doesn't really matter because 8 is an even number. These Halloween buckets are also known as pails. In a McDonald's commercial, I heard the announcer saying McDonald pails. But this also really doesn't matter because in a McDonald's commercial, I heard the announcer saying McDonald's pails, but this really doesn't matter because the words bucket and pails can mean the same thing. I'm doing this video in 2016, so keep that in mind whenever I mention timeline and dates. With all of those notes out of the way, let's get started. I will be going from the top to the bottom of the shelf. To start off, we have this one. This one is a jack-o'-lantern, and I know it doesn't look like the rest of the buckets, but technically I still consider it a bucket because this handle part right here. On the handle part, it says Happy Halloween. And this bucket is obviously meant to be used for trick-or-treating. And unlike the other ones, I have no idea when I got this bucket, other than the fact that it was probably when I was a little kid. And I think I may have used this bucket for trick-or-treating one year. Now, let's look at the bucket itself. You can see right here it's actually kind of dirty. I did not have much of a good experience with this bucket. You can see a bunch of gray stuff. The bucket is still in fair condition, even if it's a little dirty. And here's the bottom part. And now to put this bucket back on the shelf and show you the next one. The next Halloween themed bucket is a SpongeBob one. As you can see on here, we have SpongeBob dressed up as a zombie, the old show logo, and Patrick Star dressed in a mummy costume. And here's the copyright. 2006, that was like 10 years ago. One thing I noticed with this bucket is the background on the bucket behind the characters. This background on the bucket actually kind of looks like as if it's from the episode Dungeons and Dragons. In fact, here's an image of the scene that I'm referring to. Notice that background? Yes, the background in that episode picture looks very similar to the background on this bucket, except for a few things. The sky here is a bit more yellow than the episode image. Also, the trees in the background in the episode, the trees are purple looking, when here they look brown. Even though this walk right here, that is ripped directly from the episode Dungeons and Dragons. I got this bucket from Kernels. I'm not exactly sure when I got it from there, other than the fact that it was most likely in either 2006 or 2007. I do like the TV show SpongeBob SquarePants. I've seen a lot of the SpongeBob episodes. I make SpongeBob videos on my YouTube channel. I have the SpongeBob Lego sets, and I have some SpongeBob merchandise as well, including this Halloween bucket. Some of the other SpongeBob merchandise I have is on top of the shelf, actually. Right here. This is just a few of them. I have more than this. Now here is an old photo I took of my giant SpongeBob doll with my SpongeBob Halloween themed bucket. With all of that said, now to put this bucket back onto the shelf. The third Halloween themed bucket is a McDonald's one. The bucket itself is a jack-o'-lantern themed bucket. It's the second jack-o'-lantern themed bucket I have after the first one in my collection. This is the second one I have that's a pumpkin theme. And here's the bottom part. The cat handle part right here on the bucket is actually kind of loose because the attachment part got kind of damaged right here. Even though I can still attach it on there even though it doesn't hold on as well anymore. This one is the first McDonald's Halloween bucket I have. When I got this Halloween bucket from McDonald's, I discovered that they serve these Halloween buckets in mid-October, and I've collected 4 of them since then, which I will be getting to. I got this bucket in October 2011, and in fact on the copyright right here you can actually see 2011. This was 5 years ago. I'm not exactly sure what specific day in October 2011 that I got this bucket on, other than the fact that I remember it was on the same day that I got my eyeglasses. With all of that said, now it's time to put this bucket back onto the shelf. We're moving down a row now. The 4th Halloween themed bucket is another McDonald's one. The bucket itself is a Scooby-Doo themed bucket. And here is the bottom part. This one is the second McDonald's Halloween bucket I have. I got this bucket in October 2012. And in fact on the copyright right here you can actually see 2012. This was 4 years ago. I'm not exactly sure what specific day in October 2012 that I got this bucket on, but I do remember that it was late at night. Some of the faces and objects on here are stickers, because just like the 2011 bucket, I also decided to put the stickers on this one. The Scooby-Doo handle part right here on the bucket kinda got damaged, unfortunately. This side did not get damaged, but this side unfortunately did, and I had to tape it back on there. It was that loose. In fact, the bucket itself is actually kinda bent up as well. In addition to the handle being damaged, you can also see some cracks right here that I had to tape down as well. Out of all my Halloween buckets, this one is the most damaged, but I still kept it as part of the collection. I didn't really like Scooby-Doo that much, although according to my mom, I used to like Scooby-Doo when I was 2 years old. But I haven't watched any Scooby-Doo TV shows since I was 2. Despite this, I still got a few Scooby-Doo toys over the years from garage sales and from my parents. With all of that said, it is now time to put this bucket back onto the shelf. The fifth Halloween themed bucket is the third McDonald's one. The bucket itself is an Angry Birds Star Wars bucket. And here's the bottom part. This one is the third McDonald's Halloween bucket I have. I got this bucket on October 19th, 2013. And in fact, on the copyright here you can actually see 2013. This was 3 years ago. The reason I remember what specific day I got this bucket on was because me and my family was on a short family vacation at the time in Calgary, and we just so happened to find a McDonald's there that was showing the Halloween buckets at the time. This part right here is the stickers. Unlike the 2012 and 2011 Halloween buckets, I decided not to put the stickers on this one, and I haven't since 2012. But I still kept the stickers anyways, even though I wasn't going to put it on the buckets as of 2013. Here is the handle part of the bucket. And even though it says Angry Birds Star Wars right here, on the handle part it only says Star Wars. Apparently that's all the text they had room for to fit on the handle. This bucket is based off a specific game in the Angry Birds franchise. I've never played that game before, and I've never played any Angry Birds video game before, as I don't care for Angry Birds. This bucket is based on both Star Wars and Angry Birds. I already talked about my opinion on Angry Birds, and no, I am not going to talk about my opinion on Star Wars in this video. With all of that said, now is the time to put this bucket back onto the shelf. Since there is no third one in this row, this means that we're moving down to the last row. The sixth Halloween themed bucket is another Kernels one. The bucket itself is just a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns and green monsters. Om nom. The first Kernels bucket I have is the SpongeBob one up there. And this is the second Kernels one I have in my collection. Here is the bottom part of this bucket. The reason why I didn't show the bottom part for the SpongeBob Halloween themed bucket is because both this one and the SpongeBob one have an identical bottom, as they are both from Kernels. This Kernels bucket doesn't have a lid anymore. I do remember it came with a lid, but I unfortunately lost the lid and never been able to find it since. Although it's the SpongeBob Kernels bucket, I still have the lid right here. Back where you belong. I got this bucket in October 2013, but I do not remember what specific day in October 2013 though. And in fact, on the copyright right here, you can actually see 2013. This was also 3 years ago. One thing I noticed is that this newer Kernels bucket seems just a little bit thinner than the older one. Just like about 1 or 2 inches. With all of that said, the time has now come to put this bucket back onto the shelf. Before moving on to this next Halloween bucket, the one thing I would like to note is that this one is from 2013, as I already said, and this one is from 2015. The thing is that apparently I didn't get the McDonald's Halloween themed bucket in 2014. I apparently forgot that year. According to my internet research, the McDonald's Halloween buckets they had in 2014 were based on the Book of Life 2014 movie. But I didn't really care for that movie, and it's why I do not have the bucket based on it. The 7th Halloween themed bucket is a fourth McDonald's one. The bucket itself is a Minions themed bucket. And here's the bottom part. And by the way, it's the only Halloween themed bucket I have to come with a green bottom. The rest of them are either orange or white bottoms. I got this bucket on October 24th, 2015. And in fact, on the copyright right here, you can actually see 2015. This was 1 year ago. This part right here is the stickers. Just like the McDonald's 2013 bucket, I also decided not to put the stickers on this one. And right here you can actually see an advertisement for the Minions Blu-ray. This bucket came out before the Blu-ray. This bucket came out in October 2015, and the Blu-ray for Minions came out on December 8th, 2015 in North America. Both sides have stickers. Here is the handle part. Right here it says Minions, and in the middle it has one of the Minion eyes. I have not seen the Minions movie, and I do not care to. I'm already aware that the Minion characters originate from the Despicable Me films. As for the Despicable Me films, I have not seen the first Despicable Me movie. Although I have watched the Despicable Me 2 movie on June 13th, 2014. I only saw Despicable Me 2 once, and it's an okay film in my opinion. I didn't really hate it or enjoy it, just thought it was okay. With all of that said, the time has now come for me to put this bucket back onto the shelf. Now for the 8th and final Halloween-themed bucket in my collection. This is the 5th McDonald's Halloween bucket I have. The bucket itself is based on Peanuts cartoons. Specifically, it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown special. And here is the bottom part. I got this bucket on October 21st, 2016. And in fact, on the copyright right here, you can actually see 2016. That was recently. This part right here is the stickers. This back side is a bunch of advertisements. At the bottom right here, we get a little Peanuts cartoon strip. Then on this left side, you get an ad for a temporary game that you could play on the McDonald's website. The game is no longer on the website. It even says right here the game was only available for a limited time in October 2016. And on this right side is an advertisement for It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown DVD and Blu-ray. And ironically, that's what this bucket is based on. By the way, the $3 sale expires on April 30th, 2017. Here is the handle part. The design on here is just a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns, Snoopy, and one of the other human characters. The Peanuts cartoon is okay in my opinion. I watched a little bit of the Peanuts cartoon TV show a while back, and it was okay. I didn't like or hate it, I just remembered that it was okay. As I stated earlier, this bucket is based on the TV special It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, and that special originally aired on October 27th, 1966, which was 50 years ago. On this 2016 bucket, it even acknowledges how old It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown is. It was 50 years ago, and 2016 marks the 50th anniversary of when that special originally aired in 1966. I actually checked out It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown special recently. After watching it, it was okay in my opinion. Like I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of the Peanuts cartoons. With all of that said, now it's time to end off by putting this last bucket back onto the shelf. And that was my entire Halloween bucket collection. Looking at these buckets brought back memories of when I got them and what they mean to me. Out of the 8 buckets, 2 of them were from Kernels and 5 of them were from McDonald's. It took me a while to complete my Halloween bucket collection, but now I have. I hope you found some enjoyment out of this video. Happy Halloween and goodbye.